Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Sink the Bismarck with me, Wolf190D. All right, so anyway, let's get on with the show, on with the program. Yes, we had left off at this battle. Let's see here, there's a couple of torpedo boats, and we can't, it's not like we can withdraw. And I don't think I want to auto-resolve. So let's see if we can't run these two little guys down. 34 knots to 28 and a half. We should be able to. Okay. And we are going to select our destroyers. We're going to figure out which way they went. And okay. These are the Nassaus. These destroyers are armed with 488s. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, good. The little platform on the front end actually does give it enough height to shoot over. Might not make it. Yeah, it doesn't exactly look like Laguna does it. Wait a second. What? There they are. riding around with them on off the whole time. And that's how you do it. You get them in that crossfire. All right. Well, that didn't take too terribly long, did it? Okay. Hmm. And how are we looking on the naval invasion? 31% again. Hmm. Got 2 months on two of the Helgelons. All right. Let's go ahead and end that turn. And would you look at that? Now we're at 38 million, up 43 million positive per turn. We are in the black, folks. And the center party is retaining the government seats. So. In Madagascar? Okay. Sweden wants to buy V12. And hey, look, we've got, just so happen to have this fleet out here in the West Indian Ocean. So let's go take Madagascar, shall we? 4,000 tons. And this fleet is a 52,000 ton task force. I think they can handle that. Hmm. Two turns left, and I don't think we're going to be able to make it. Um, Mark III 3-inch guns. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. Let's go ahead and see about because the idea here actually is going to be that what we're going to do is we're going to sort of bypass that 6-month refit nonsense. Yeah. Okay. Now that we have Mark III 3-inch guns anyway. Is there anything else we want to do on these guys? We could do that, though. Let's leave them at 20. They'll be plenty fast enough for the time being. We can always do another one later. But anyway, that's going to be that. Give him the Mark IIIs. And that's one way of sort of bypassing overly lengthy refits, is to just wait for one other minor thing to do, and then just to go ahead and do the refit, replace the refit. We should be able to bypass that, but just in case, I'm going to leave that there. It might be a little, I don't know. Anyway. Persia wants to buy the Oldenburg. No. Oh, I know what it is. It's because we don't have enough crew. We literally do not have, we're at a crew. Okay, go back to finances. Okay. And what kind of crew are they sucking up? 1,378. Okay. And actually, I think it's going to be these guys that are. What's their weight anyway? 12,500. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and exchange. Or, well, because that whole fleet, maybe as soon as the next couple of turns when we conquer that, we can do. Oh, good grief. The mini-map thing ain't working very good, is it? Okay. The B-21s, I think, also. Oh, that does remind me. I think I put some of the new ones in Tsingtao, didn't I? Those are the V-45s. And this is a V-21. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll send the 45s over there. And we'll bring the other 21 here back. And then what I'm going to do, I think, anyway, let me see here. Nope, it's one more month for that 73. Okay, so it was almost pointless, wasn't it? Port Sudan, let's see here. All of these V-21s here. Let's go ahead and move some of these V-21s out here to... Actually, we'll go ahead and move this whole thing. Speaking of which, what do we have here? We got another V-21 right there in Victoria. Okay, so let's move the V-21s to Victoria. There's 7 of them. Okay. And then 2 of them will move out to Port Louis. Actually, let's go ahead and move 4 of them over here to Port Louis. 49, 50, 51, 52. How about that? 50, 51, 52, and 53. Move them all out there. Okay. And then in Douala, we've got a couple of them. And in Lerwick, we have 1. Okay. actually have a few V-21s. Quite a few of them still out and about, don't we? Yes, okay, well. Accra, V-21, 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 V-21. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of them in Accra. Let's see here. Accra, and Accra. And then there's two in Helgoland. We're going to go ahead and set all you guys to defend. And maybe, who the heck knows, maybe I'll get enough crew out of all of these old destroyers to go ahead and equip one of the new battleships. And then we've still got these guys. That old fleet. You know, what do you do with them? Okay, so what did that bring our crews up to? Ah, yes, we have plenty now. Okay, so let's see here. This other Helgoland. We're going to go ahead and set your crew and commission you as well. And you've got trained and you've got cadets. That's cute. Okay. All right, so we've got a conquest, after which, let's see here. Yeah, after which, I think we're just going to take the heavy cruiser, the light cruiser, and the two destroyers. We're going to use this for zone control in the West Indian Ocean, at least for now. But the battleships, they kind of got to go. I don't know if anybody's going to buy them because for me they're obsolete. And I think once, if memory serves me right, once they reach obsolete on your list, your allies really are going to be no longer interested in them. So one reason maybe it's kind of important to get rid of those kinds of things before they become so, if you're going to do it that way. I mean, if not, you can still get a little bit of money back for, excuse me, for scrapping, but it's not a lot. Still, I guess something's better than nothing. They've got a destroyer called the Scharfschütze. The Austrians do. That's cute. All right, so the 4-cylinder pneumatic motors. Britain failed to gain control of Palestine. Oh my goodness, we did it. We captured Scotland. Okay. We did it, guys. We captured Scotland. All right. Okay, so let's see here. These guys, I'm going to move these guys back over here into sort of a protective position. These guys I'm going to move into the English Channel. Okay, these destroyers, are these 45s? They are indeed. Let's move them back to Helgoland. Okay. These two destroyers are also 45s. And I think there's a couple. Nope, those are 73s with that cruiser. Okay. Okay, well, Ostfriesland. The Oldenburg is back here at Danzig. And Pillau just got a mess of new destroyers. Okay. These are the Prince Regent Luitpolds. What we're going to do is I'm going to position these guys up at Scapa Flow. Okay. And then the first one is going to be the Prince Regent Luitpold is going to go ahead and go to dock. Kaiser and Augusta. But Prince Regent Luitpold is going to go to the dock. Okay. We got 4 months. We got 7 months. On the new batch of Magdeburgs, we've got 2 and 3 months. The heavy cruisers. Kaiser and Augustas. Let's go ahead and, oh, wait. Armored cruiser number 3 comes in 1 month. Okay. That's gonna be, that's great. That's super. Okay. Let's keep on the small guns then. We're gonna want those to be upgraded. Okay, got small guns. Armored cruiser number 1, and then I'm just gonna try to make a mess of them things. Tsingtao. Let's go ahead and put you on defend and you on defend. Okay, and bring those down. We're gonna go ahead and mothball you guys. Victoria. Okay. So we've got 4 there. And then let's go ahead and divvy these up. We're going to send half of them to Port Mathurin. Or Mathurin. And then Victoria. I might just take half of them and move them over to Diego Suarez there. Okay. And these are V21s that are just kind of blocking that up. Okay. I think the Mainz has, yes. The Mainz is a mine layer. Cape Town, South Africa. All right, and then because these guys should be commissioning. Okay. It's all right, and that conquest should be going off without a hitch as well. All right. And because these guys are starting to, let's go ahead and move half of them. We'll take you to Danzig. The Heimdall and the Lothringen. The Lothringen. Okay, and then let's start looking at our Ariadnes, because I think they also are going to be converted to other duties here. Well, as soon as those Magdeburgs start coming in. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and actually build a couple more Magdeburgs. We're going to build two more Magdeburgs. And let's send one of them's coming out in Tsingtao. We'll continue launching in Hamburg, I guess. Yeah. And it's only a 10-month build. I kind of rather like that. Okay, so let's see here. Next turn, we should be, yes. And for special machinery, we're coming up with the auxiliary diesel engine. Okay. All right. Let's get on to the next turn then. And we can start to potentially, anyway, lay down a large heavy cruiser. Now the question is, how do I want to outfit them? All right. And now technically we can go ahead and Persia would like to buy V24. Portugal wants V23, V35. Okay, we're pawning off all of our old ships now. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into Diego Suarez. We're going to go ahead and move the old Württemberg, or the Kaiser Wilhelm class. I'm going to move all ships, and then what we do is we move the other guys that we're going to keep separate. Okay. And actually what I can do is I can take this Ariadne and we can move him to Port Sudan for his refitting. Or rather, her refitting. Because ships, for some reason, are always she's. Right? Okay, so let's move... I'm going to move the Siegfried class over there. And we'll take the Nassaus and move them up here. There we go. Now he can engage my other fleet. That would be fine if he wants to do that. Okay, the Oldenburg, the Ostfriesland. The Ariadne we can actually move up to Scapa Flow here because the Magdeburgs are coming very soon. Okay, now, oh, because he has to repair first. So, okay, leave you right up there. And then we can actually start to consider taking over Ireland as well. Okay, so ship design. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and design a new heavy cruiser. Now here's the question with the heavy cruisers. Do we want to Uh, go with 7.5s. Do we want 6 7s, 7.5s, or do we want to just go ahead and blast these guys out to blast these guys on out to 9.4s or something like that? What's the minimum build? Minimum is going to be 11,000 tons on the heavy cruiser. So let's see here. We got a minimal draft. Let's go 5% or minimal beam rather. Let's go. Oh boy, on this hull, what are our? The draft can go a maximum of 18. This is a very very low riding hull, is it not? Yes, it's a very very low riding hull. My goodness. There's barely any room. I mean, this is like basically the older battleships. this heavy cruiser. So anyway, for our main guns, in the 9 inches are Mark IIIs, so that's going to help as a major selling feature, I think. So here's the question: do we want 8s? Or do we want 9.4s? Actually, I think some of the guns I remember being were like 8.3. And then you've got 9.4s, which is what we're supposed to be on some of our earlier battleships. So the 8.3s have a 1.5 rate of fire. The 9s have a 1.78. And their accuracy is going to be quite a bit better. 5,000, 7,000. It's 7,000 meters. It's 1%. 7,500 meters, rather. It's 1%. 1%. 1%. At 5,000, it's 1.5. So their accuracy all around, especially as we get closer. Hello, hello, hello. Zach, welcome. Sorry, I'm just now noticing the chats. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and arm this guy up with some 9.4s. And a main tower, let's see here. Oh boy. No, definitely not that little tiny thing. Let's go with 4 tower number 3 maybe? Let's see, what are our stats? We got 5, 4, 6, 5, and 7, 6. It's really a +1 increase on each of them. Yeah, this game's been around for a while, but the dev team does really good work as far as updates and things like that are concerned for it. So I find it to be a really good one. Particularly if you like the large ship era and stuff like that. It's really good stuff. Yeah. This is a German campaign. Yeah, I had a great uncle, first wave Guadalcanal. My grandfather was the youngest of them. He was a little too young for World War II, but he did serve in Korea. So, kind of, sorta, yeah. I mean, it was an 1890 start, so currently the campaign's in 1906, I think. Let's do enhanced reloading, electro-hydraulic turrets. Now for the oh, still in your early 20s in 41, Pearl Harbor. Uh-huh. Wow. Yes and no. Some of my builds have not been. They've been kind of experimental, but I've done a couple of historical builds. Nassau class, Helgoland class. Last naval service was in the late 1990s, really. So you were kind of a career guy. Well, not kind of. You were definitely a career man. That is, unless there was a gap in that service. Well, these guys would be able to deal with his battleships at closer range. Actually, if I built them like that, that is if they could close. Let's see here. Let's go with 24 knots, and let's see what we can't get with some with our funnels here. I think I'm going to have to at least induce the draft. 27. Oh no, we get triple funnels on these guys. I think this ship is going to be just fine. 83. Okay, let's just go all very big funnels then. That'll work. No, not electric steering. I really do dislike the electric steering. Let's go to Krupp armor. We're going to go with barbette number 2. Anti-torp 2. And let's go ahead and give them a citadel. All right, now there's not much room for secondaries, are there? What I want to know is how 88s don't work there. That's okay. We'll just go with the single barrel variants. Gulf War and late Desert Storm operations were the last ones. Well, it is much appreciated, sir. Now the Wisconsin, refresh my memory. That's not one of the last of the battleships, was it? Was that one of the last of the battle wagons, the Wisconsin? Last Iowa class in service, yeah. Yeah, I've been on. Let's see here. Geez, I love history. I love the museums and stuff. I've been on the USS Alabama, and I've been on the Missouri, actually, and I've been to the Arizona. You're talking about decommissioned, correct? The New Jersey, that is, in the late '80s. Oh, you were on her last trips. Gee, whatever happened to the New Jersey? Is the New Jersey still around? Ah, to her last fight. Okay. Wow. And hello, Angelic Carolina. Welcome. Huh. Yeah, the last time I was in Houston, I tried to go to the USS Texas, but I think the way it turned out, yep, yep. But the way it turned out was is that a private company had bought her, and she wasn't ready for showing yet, so she was kind of closed off to the public. It was sort of a drag, but still one of the oldest ships from this particular era actually still around. It's pretty crazy actually. Hmm. So what was Texas being used as like a training ship at that time? Ah, okay, you were a lookout. Wow, very cool, Zach. We can go with a 12,000 ton build. Why not? It's going to be a fleet escort. Well, I mean, still even in modern times, the big gun battleships still work as shore bombardment. Um, oh, okay, so Zach is your code name. Well, we'll just use your code name then, if that's all right. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. This guy's going to be a little pricey. Actually, I think it's gonna be up there with some of my battleships as far as cost is concerned. Uh, well, coming in at a little less than a half of some of the earliest dreadnoughts anyway. Where's cost? Ah, yeah, the Prince Regents they went up a lot. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's kind of the interesting part about a lot of these dreadnoughts is that a lot of them still served, and I mean, hell, most of the U.S. battleships were still dreadnoughts, were they not? Yeah, 16 inch guns on that kind of became U.S. standard. Interestingly, the Germans always used smaller caliber for some reason, at least on their battleships. Standard class were counted as mid standard. How do you mean? It six and three, I think. On the fore and the aft. Main deck will say 1.5 inch. Yeah. The forward deck will bring him down to 1 inch. The aft deck will bump him up to two. The conning tower can go up to 9. The superstructure will call it 1 inch, and then pretty much, let's see, half inch on the inner deck. Accurate, yeah. So yeah, and that was kind of their naval philosophy for what, about 40 years, was volume and accuracy of fire. Uh, Standard is like Colorado. Yeah, the U.S. battleships, from what I remember, or at least as I recall, were typically slower, actually, than their European contemporaries. The Europeans had started going over to something like fast battleships, right? Yeah, the battleship speeds, yeah. But the Germans particularly had started pushing like 30, 32 knots on their large ships. Yeah, yeah. But the Hood was actually a battle cruiser. Again, if I recall correctly, I think the Hood was a battle cruiser, was it not? Wasn't even supposed to be a battleship. I mean, they call it a battleship, but Yeah, Bismarck topped out around that, but I think, well, yeah, Hood's complicated. Well, I mean that's what a battle cruiser is, right? It's a mix of battleship and cruiser and heavy cruiser. Uh, speed more so than armor protection. Hmm. I'm not going to balance this thing out very. This not. Yeah. I mean that too. She became a bit of a figurehead, but the problem was is that some of the problems of her predecessors were never really corrected. Right. Hence why she took one hit basically into her ammo magazines and exploded, much like the British commander during Jutland remarked of their own ships back then. There seems to be something wrong with our ships today. Yeah, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, it was a symbol. It was a symbol. I guess much like the Bismarck was for the Germans. Well, yeah, yeah. She was hit 4 times, but she took one hit to the magazine and boom, that was kind of it. It was, yeah. There seems to be something wrong with our bloody ships today. Yes, thank you, thank you. I mean, I was paraphrasing, but still. Um, Actually, let's go with a 10-inch barbette. Uh, oh, so you're originally from the Philippines? Huh? We'll go with that. All right. Well, like I said, this is kind of a stopgap until we get into more modern ship hulls. Uh, a battleship fort type thing. Well, that's an interesting statement. A battleship fort. Hmm. A concrete ship. Hmm. That's about as good as we're going to get this thing balanced. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for the follow, by the way, Zach. It is much appreciated. Now how does that work? A ship being concrete like that. As are a lot of ships from that era, I guess. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and get another 1 year build. Ship was built in an island. Well, I guess. I mean, if it's an entire island that they. uh, so it's really a fort, or like a fortification, huh? Well, I don't really. Yamato was referred to as unsinkable, huh? Wider than Texas. As Texas is pretty wide, I know. It's like a I don't know, 12. Oh geez. It's a 2 day trip all the way across Texas on car via car. I know that much. Ah. Yeah, but she eventually sank. And yes, of course there was Titanic too. They tried to say that that ship was unsinkable. Well, we know how that worked out. All right, I'm gonna take some time. Yeah, well, the truth of it all was is that by World War II, battleships were obsolete anyway. As far as the lords of the sea. Well, we don't hear much about the Olympic. Maybe that's why. All right. Let me see here. Probably get into the next turn here and see what happens. Well, I mean, if it's yeah, it's funny. It's funny. The ships that do well, we don't typically hear too much about, do we? Guess it makes for more exciting stories, you know. Titanic, the maiden voyage of the Titanic, the maiden voyage of the Bismarck. Hell, I mean, we hear a lot about that one too, don't we? Both were discovered by Robert Ballard, incidentally. I used to like reading that guy's stuff. He was an interesting guy. Wait, Olympic was converted into a oh boy, what are they, like an armed merchant basically, or one of those conversion type ships. Okay, so Olympic became a troop ship. Gotcha. And I don't think we have enough time actually. Not for this episode. So I will have to cease transmission here. We are well. At least I'm out of time for this transmission. I'm trying to keep these to about an hour long. Um, and I don't know. It's going to be a little while before I can get back actually. So maybe I can leave the room open, the chat room open. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, all right. So Zach and Carolina, thanks for stopping by today, guys. Actually, it's nice to finally have some people actually firing off back and forth. No pun intended. Giant light cruiser plus the depth. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about the Olympic being converted to an armed carrier of sorts. Um, give me just a second though. No. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go ahead because this is for YouTube as well. All right, so Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thanks for stopping by today. We are going to have to stop here. Don't have enough time to go ahead and broadcast a full battle. That'll have to be on the next episode. For those of you that did stop by today, thank you very much, Zach and Angelic Carolina, for the chats and stuff. I don't know if the people on YouTube are going to be able to see that, but there again. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, folks, as always, shout out to your YouTube channel. Yeah. Well, I have to pull you up, Zach. I'm over there too, so I'm working on building all of this stuff up. So as always, folks, be sure to give a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever platform you're on. It does help the channel to grow. And let me see here. Zach is on Moon Haruna 2021. You have 175 subs. That's actually kind of a ridiculously large number. I've never built that many subs on this game. This is Wolf190D.